Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and today I want to bring you a video where I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions about this seasonal event, the Guardian Games. Alright, so the first thing I want to cover is that this is a free seasonal event. Obviously, most of you are out there playing it right now. It's a 3-week event. Its main attraction is that it features a class war between Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks, and this is definitely like an age-old thing within the game. There's always the Titan Master Race, Warlock Master Race, Hunter Master Race battle going on, and so Bungie has sort of tapped into that with this, and the winner of this, the class that wins this, will actually be crowned king for a year, essentially, like the whole entire year until presumably next year there'd be another Guardian Games. Which is kind of cool. I will say that one of the cool things about this event is that there are kind of high stakes behind it, you know? If you are really gung-ho for Titans, Hunters, or Warlocks, you know, seeing your class being, you know, crowned the king of the 3 classes would be definitely really cool. So I definitely like that high stakes nature of it. I do like that they brought a new exotic, the Heir Apparent. There's definitely a lot of problems with it, mainly and notably the essentially that it's a bounty farming event. You're just farming bounties. You're farming for these medals inside of Evil Levante's inventory. You have all these medals, which are essentially just bounties, and there's no new activity that comes along with it. And that's really, I think, the big failure of the event, is that there's no new activity come along with it, which is really sad and really upsetting because this event had a lot of potential. Even by the color scheme, I can't help but feel like this event would have worked so perfectly with SRL. Imagine if SRL came back with this and the bounties were featured all around SRL bounties and stuff. That would actually have been really cool. I know that SRL has been announced as not coming back, but I still miss the event, okay? And I really would like for it to come back, even still. But even if it wasn't SRL, even if it was just a new activity, if we had the Verdant Force come back or anything to do other than picking up these bounties and doing the activities that we've already been doing up to this point, it would have been a big improvement over the current iteration of Guardian Games. I went to Twitter and asked people what they thought about the Guardian Games, and there was some positivity, some negativity. I mean, some of the nice things that can be said about it is that, you know, it's a free event. It gives us something more to do that we were already probably doing. We were already probably grinding Destiny 2, whether you're trying to go flawless, whether you're trying to hit 10-10, whether you're, you know, just daily grinding the game, you know, building your characters up, getting your exotic quests done. This does add a little layer onto that. But I do find it a little bit frustrating that the the best argument and the nicest thing that can be said about Guardian Games is that, well, it's something to do, because that's kind of a very low standard, low bar that's been set for us, the Destiny community, where we're just happy if there's anything going on, you know, whereas we should be really excited about it. There should be some real motivation for it. I do like that there's the high stakes between the Titan Hunter and the Warlock. It would just be nice if there was more set in place, so that way you were actually really committed to one, because a lot of people wanted to get the Heir Apparent machine gun, and in order to do so and to get this machine gun efficiently, you needed to play on all 3 characters, so it kind of defeated the purpose a little bit. Obviously, you could take your time and play on one, or you could, you know, delete characters, but not a lot of people want to do that or commit to those. So a lot of people just ended up sort of, you know, bypassing the whole purpose of the event, which was kind of a big flaw in it, which is that they played all 3 characters anyways, when the whole point of it was to play the character that you like the most, whether you're a Titan, Hunter, or Warlock. And the other problem is that not a lot of people are a part of that like class war where they're like, yeah, I'm a Hunter and fuck Warlocks. They're like, a lot of people just play all 3, especially because over time the meta shifts both in PvE and in PvP. And we find that, you know, even if you're a Hunter main, and you've mostly been a Hunter main, there was that one time when you like played Warlock quite a bit because Warlock was so strong for whatever reason, or you played Titan because Titan was so good, or your team needed you to play Titan for this encounter, that encounter, etc., etc. So a lot of us find that we're not so class oriented that we only play one class, or we only identify as one class. We actually play all 3, and so the class war doesn't necessarily chime well with a lot of us, but for some it does. And I am happy that Bungie, you know, sort of experimented and tried it out with this, and we'll see what happens, you know. And I want to know your thoughts in this comment section below. Do you really identify strongly with one class? Are you like Team Hunter or Team Warlock or Team Titan? Or are you kind of just like, I have all 3, I kind of just play all 3, you know, I just play Destiny, I don't really care which one. Yeah, I want to know what your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, because I find it very interesting to see what people think of when they play this game, if they identify themselves as a class or if they just play all 3 regularly. Some of the other positive things that I heard people mentioning were that they gave us some extra pinnacles, which is always good. You know, people want to achieve that maximum power cap 10-10 and get as high level as they can, especially with Grandmaster Nightfall being out now. They want to get as high level as they can so they can beat those, because those are extra challenging. And I do like the challenge of Grandmaster Nightfall. It's not tied to the event, but it did come out at the same time. The ghost that came with it is kind of cool. I like that it has both Speed Demon and Guiding Light. That's a really cool addition to the game, because before, I always had to run a Guiding Light ghost, but whenever I needed to, I wanted to pull out a Speed Demon ghost. So it's kind of nice to just have both, and I like to see that they're combined there. That's kind of a nice little added feature. A big complaint that I heard a lot of people mentioning about is that the armor is locked behind Eververse, which is kind of a lame way of doing things. They would rather go out and earn their armor rather than have to see it locked behind. Obviously you've got silver, which costs money, or you have, bright dust, which doesn't cost money, but can be extremely expensive. 6,000 for this competitive spirit bundle is quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and buy this competitive spirit Titan bundle here, so I can show off to you what it looks like when you do get it, if you haven't gotten it yourself. A lot of people were complaining that the shaders on it weren't really matching very well, so that's kind of a big yikes. So I'll go ahead and put it on here and we'll see. All right, so this is my Titan beforehand. I have the New Monarchy Succession shader put on all my armor, and we'll go ahead and slap on the ornament onto all the armor pieces, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so I've now put on the ornament onto all of my armor, and I don't think I'm looking very good here, but you can be the judge of that. Go ahead and rate that down below in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you actually got the Titan bundle and you weren't able to shader it well, let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. Right here, I don't think this looks very good at all. Obviously, not being able to change the sort of stripe color in here is going to make the color scheme kind of yikes for me, but overall, it looks all right. It's definitely a new look added to the game, so I'm fine with it, but 6,000 Bright Dust is a little bit expensive. And this is coming from someone that had, well over 150,000, but that's because I don't really spend my Bright Dust at all. I just really play the game a ton and I collect it, and I rarely ever go into Eververse and spend any Bright Dust or silver unless there's something that really catches my eye. And so the last thing I wanted to cover is that this really gave a sort of faction rally vibe, but it fell short from faction rallies because of the fact that you needed to play on all 3 characters in order to get the exotic LMG the fastest you possibly could. So that's where I really feel like it fell short, is that the Destiny community remembers faction rallies, and we were kind of passionate about faction rallies. You might disagree, you might not have liked it, but I kind of liked faction rallies. But this felt a little bit different because you don't have to commit as hard to one character, because the stakes are so high. The stakes are so incredibly high. One class will be crowned the king of classes for an entire year. But it just doesn't feel like the incentives in the game are really there to make you want to grind out to win that for some reason. It would be nice if it was highly incentivized, so that way if you are a Titan, a Hunter, or Warlock, you're like, man, I really want to make sure that my class wins, because the rewards that come with it are going to be so great. It is kind of a cool little mini event though, and it's free. So overall, I'm going to give this event a 5 out of 10 rating. Sorry if that's a bit harsh, but that's my ratings, 5 out of 10. Let me know what you think about that. Hopefully I'm not being too mean. I am enjoying the event for what it is, and it's free, and I tried to give, the positives and the negatives, but overall, that's my opinion. I kind of wish it had SRL tied into it. I kind of wish it had a new activity. That would be the biggest change I would make to it overall, but because it doesn't have that, and we're essentially just doing a lot of bounty farming, that's the rating I'm going to give it. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.